The rustling of leaves on a Texan night hides a nightmare. Monstrous and relentless wild hogs, weighing 180 kilograms, cross farmland at 48 kilometers per hour. Coyotes lurk in the shadows, their bright eyes targeting and killing innocent animals. Farmers wage a relentless war, sacrificing their safety and sleep to protect their way of life. According to 2024 statistics from Ababdiwa, wild hogs have killed more people than sharks in the past 10 years, with 1,645 attacks and 216 deaths, 38% of which were farmers. Their estimated population in the United States has risen to over 9.3 million, with Florida and Texas bearing the brunt of the destruction, reporting more than 3.1 million cases. They are so numerous that farmers in these states have opened over 30 different wild hog hunting experiences for visitors of all skill levels. These animals are ecological terrorists, causing an estimated $1.5 billion in annual damage to crops, livestock, and the environment. Wild hogs are notorious for their insatiable appetite. A single adult can consume around 4 to 6% of its body weight daily, with a stomach capacity of 5 to 8 liters. This rapid digestive system fuels their constant search for food, turning fertile fields into wastelands. Their powerful snouts tear up soil, uprooting crops, and destroying vital root systems. Their waste pollutes water sources, potentially spreading diseases like swine brucellosis to livestock and even humans. According to the Department of Conservation, a group of just 10 wild hogs can devastate up to 25 acres of farmland in a single night, leading to farmer revenue losses of about $125,000 annually. The problem is worsened by their ability to start reproducing at 3 years old and at an extremely rapid rate. A female wild hog can have several litters each year, each ranging from 8 to 12 piglets, allowing their numbers to explode in a short period. While wild hogs wreak havoc on crops and soil, coyotes present a different kind of threat. These native predators are highly adaptable and can be found in every U.S. state, even in snowy areas. Texas and California are the two states with the largest coyote populations, totaling 1.6 million in 2024. Unlike wild hogs, coyotes primarily target animals, especially smaller ones like chickens and lambs. They even hunt calves, according to the Department of Agriculture. Coyotes are responsible for about 60% of all predator-related livestock losses, costing farmers millions of dollars annually. These losses impact farmers' incomes and disrupt local food supply chains. In addition to preying on livestock, coyotes have gradually migrated to urban areas and have sometimes even attacked humans and pets, especially during their breeding season from January to March, when they may feel their territory is threatened. Coyotes have existed in North America for 800,000 years, making them skilled hunters. With sharp claws and teeth, they can take down prey in seconds. They typically hunt alone, which makes them hard to capture and detect. The fight against wild hogs and coyotes requires a multifaceted approach. Building strong, hog-proof fences remains a crucial first line of defense. However, these fences must be made of durable materials and anchored deeply to withstand the immense strength and determination of wild hogs. Electric fences are particularly effective at keeping coyotes away and can even deter other predators, but they cost between $5 and $8 per square meter, which is expensive for the average farm. The cost and scale required for large-scale farming make this a significant challenge, and many farmers believe that livestock guard dogs are essential. Anatolian Shepherds and Great Pyrenees dogs are also effective at protecting herds from predators. In the U.S., farmers typically keep one guard dog for every 50 to 100 head of livestock on up to 20 acres, but most farms in coyote hotspots, like Texas, usually have 3 to 5 livestock guard dogs for extra security. Trapping and hunting remain effective methods of population control for wild hogs. Automated traps equipped with sensors and cameras are becoming increasingly popular. These traps can detect the presence of wild hogs and coyotes, send real-time alerts to farmers' smartphones or computers, and allow for remote monitoring and control. A typical trap of this type can hold up to 50 wild hogs and costs around $7,500. Corn is often used as bait to lure them into the traps at night, as that's when they're most active. If they're lucky, farmers can capture more than 18 wild hogs at once. Some farmers also place corn in automatic feeders and wait until the hogs are busy eating and unaware of their surroundings before shooting to target the largest ones. Broken Arrow Ranch in Texas partners with hunters to capture wild hogs and sell them to restaurants and processors for slaughter. Captured hogs weighing between 80 and 180 pounds can be sold for around 30 to 35 cents per pound. Older hogs with high hormone levels are less palatable and are usually cold. All hogs entering the food chain, whether farm-raised or captured in the wild, must undergo mandatory federal inspections to ensure safety. Texas has adopted some creative control measures for its particularly severe wild hog problem. Here, we see a professional hunter using a helicopter equipped with thermal cameras. Aerial culling allows for the swift and accurate removal of large groups of wild hogs in a short time. A 3-hour helicopter hunting session can eliminate over 132 wild hogs, compared to an average of just 25 when hunting on the ground. Farmers in California have turned to leg hold traps and snare traps in high-traffic areas for coyotes. For leg traps, the hunter digs a small hole, creates a scent mark using bait or predator urine, and sets the trap inside, ensuring it blends perfectly with the surrounding environment. This method can capture about 26 coyotes per week on this 320-acre farm. Coyote and wild hog hunting is done day and night in high-traffic areas. Some farmers also use predator calls to lure coyotes into shooting range. Night vision equipment allows hunters to locate and eliminate predators with greater precision. 63 coyotes and wild hogs were taken down last night on this 4,600-acre farm. Although effective, this approach is costly, with Texas spending about $3 million annually on control efforts. Every nighttime step brings potential danger to farmers. Since early 2024, there have been 7 reported deaths due to wild hogs and 9 from coyotes across the U.S. Despite significant culling efforts, coyotes are not only surviving but also expanding their range into populated areas. In Canada, a study demonstrated that even the continuous removal of 75% of the coyote population annually over 5 decades would not eliminate them. Thus, the fight against these predators is continually evolving. Drones have become valuable tools in the battle against predator threats, not just for wild hogs and coyotes. Equipped with thermal cameras and GPS, drones can survey vast agricultural areas, detecting predators from above. The loud noise or bright lights emitted by drones can scare off wild hogs and coyotes, preventing them from reaching fields and livestock. Additionally, motion sensor lights can help deter coyotes and other animals from approaching farm areas. By combining traditional and cutting-edge strategies, American farmers can continue to protect their lands and livestock for generations to come. Hello, my friends across America, especially in Texas. There exists an ongoing and relentless war, a war between farmers and merciless wild hogs with no end in sight. It is estimated that there are over 9.3 million wild hogs in the United States, with Texas alone home to over 5.7 million, found in 99% of the state's 254 counties. Each year, these hogs cause about $1.7 billion in agricultural and environmental damage. They are large and fierce, with some weighing up to 590 pounds. Their presence in certain areas deprives native species of food sources. Deer are among the species forced to leave their habitat when wild hogs arrive. Hogs use their snouts to root through the earth, creating enormous holes and destroying crops. According to the Conservation Department, a group of 10 wild hogs can destroy 13 to 25 acres in a single night, and the holes they create can devastate farmers' livelihoods. They don't just invade agricultural fields and disrupt crop production, they are also vectors for numerous pathogens and parasites. They defecate in fields, leaving behind fecal coliforms that can be infectious and pose serious health risks to both humans and livestock. Farmers in northern Texas report that wild hogs can cost thousands of dollars in damage every night. Many preventive methods have been implemented, yet farmers still face problems caused by wild hogs because their capacity for invasion matches their high reproductive and adaptive abilities. Wild hogs are an invasive species with no significant natural predators, meaning there is no natural mechanism to control their numbers. Even worse, a female hog can give birth to 2 litters of 5 to 8 piglets each, which further complicates population control. Births can occur every month of the year, with the majority of wild hog populations peaking during winter and spring in areas with abundant forage, such as farmlands or where supplemental feeding for wildlife is common. In such areas, reproductive rates can exceed the average. Their adaptability to the environment is remarkable. During dry years, wild hogs expand their territory in search of food and water. In years with above-average rainfall, they experience greater growth and higher survival rates for their young. They eat roots, plants, worms, and insects, essentially anything that fits in their mouths. When conditions allow, wild hogs often target agricultural crops, which can represent more than 50% of their plant-based diet, causing significant damage to agricultural fields. Wild hogs will even eat veal, lamb, and deer when given the opportunity. Known for their voracious appetite, an adult hog consumes approximately 3% of its body weight per day, doing so in just 4 to 6 hours. The rapid digestion in pigs highlights their tremendous appetite, which is why wild hogs can turn a farm into ruins. Farmers are building fences around their agricultural areas, prioritizing materials and designs that not only protect against stray animals but also block invasive species. As you can see, wild hogs are strong enough to knock down many types of fences and enter farms, even during the day, so farmers need to build a solid protective system. Excluding wild hogs with fencing is a safe option for small-scale farms, though it can be costly. However, if implemented on a larger scale, it may not be very effective. In addition to fencing, traps are a common and effective method for eliminating wild hogs. A wire gate system is used to allow the hogs to enter but prevents them from escaping. The large trap is made of sturdy metal, and farmers spread corn as bait to lure them in, aiming to capture the entire group at once. At night, hogs have poor vision, making trapping easier. You can see many hogs trapped by morning, when farmers either slaughter them and let them decompose naturally or collect them for processing. The traps save time and still allow for the removal of a series of invasive animals. Texas documents show that the effort costs about $3 million from the budget each year. As rice and soybean fields start to mature, they become a favorite target for hogs. Wild hogs are usually not active during the day, but farmers work all day, so they must protect their land, often heading out at night for an hour-long chase like this to secure their fields. The higher the hunting frequency, the more likely it is that the area around the farm will limit the presence of wild hogs, also inhibiting their rapid reproduction rate. After setting the time, this machine will shoot out corn to attract nearby hogs, making it easy for hunters to aim and shoot from distant corners of Texas fields. You may find this pursuit quite brutal, however, it's the result of devastation that causes severe damage to the economy and people's livelihoods. These shots are fired in hopes of reducing hog numbers in the area. The hunting pressure will drive hogs away from their habitats or at least limit their movements. Hunting with firearms is the most popular method but is not very effective. Broken Arrow Ranch in Texas works with hunters to capture and deliver wild hogs to slaughterhouses for meat processing and packaging. They sell between 1,000 and 1,700 wild hogs each year, preferring to buy medium-sized hogs weighing between 80 and 180 pounds. Larger hogs secrete more hormones, causing the meat to have an unpleasant odor. All hogs entering the food system are subject to federal government inspection under FSIS requirements, whether they are farm-raised or wild-caught. Currently, there are 15 federally inspected facilities specializing in the slaughter of wild hogs across the United States. Some chefs, farmers, and meat suppliers in Texas have introduced wild hogs into the food chain, turning this invasive animal into a sustainable protein source for humans. In a restaurant in Austin, Texas, wild hog is a featured dish on the menu. However, eating wild hog meat can pose several health risks, so it is not particularly popular. This can be a negative sign for the wild hog meat industry but not necessarily a bad outcome. When demand for wild hog meat rises, the invasion of this species will intensify greatly. At that point, the battle for Texas farmers against wild hogs will become even more challenging.